Welcome to Headphone News, Greater Vancouver edition for Thursday, December 12, 2024.
British Columbia police chiefs reassess drug decriminalization. Police chiefs in British Columbia, Canada, have decided to stop supporting the idea of making small amounts of drugs legal for personal use. They are worried about public drug use and how it affects community safety. The British Columbia Association of Chiefs of Police believes this approach isn't solving the ongoing drug crisis, which has resulted in nearly 16,000 deaths since 2016. Instead, they are calling for more funding for health services and community programs. Earlier this year, the federal government allowed certain public spaces to be exempt from this decriminalization. What does this mean for community safety in the future?
Golden Ears Park remains closed after storm damage. Golden Ears Provincial Park in British Columbia, Canada, is still closed nearly 2 months after a powerful storm. This storm, known as an atmospheric river, hit in mid-October, causing severe damage and resulting in 4 tragic deaths. Many trails and roads in the park were heavily impacted by rushing waters and debris. The Ministry of Environment is currently assessing the area, but there's no timeline for when the park will reopen. Local resident Ron Paley stresses the importance of safety for anyone planning to explore the wilderness. The closure of the park is affecting local tourism and outdoor activities.
Attack on city employee in Nanaimo. A City of Nanaimo employee was attacked in a public restroom at Mafio Sutton Park in Nanaimo, British Columbia, Canada. This incident took place on Tuesday morning when 2 suspects used syringes to stab a 58-year-old employee multiple times. The worker suffered injuries to the face and abdomen. Police reported that the suspects ran away from the scene. The employee provided a clear account of what happened before being taken to Nanaimo Regional Hospital for care. It's still unclear why the attack occurred.
Opposition to Surrey golf course development. A proposal is on the table to change a 100-year-old golf course in South Surrey, British Columbia, into housing and a public park. This plan has sparked strong resistance from local residents. The owners of the Hills at Postal Golf Club bought the property in 2021, intending to keep it as a golf course. Now, they suggest developing part of the land for housing while giving more than half of the golf course to the city for a park. This would require taking the land out of a protected farming area. Residents are worried about losing valuable green space and how this development could impact their community.
Expansion of dental coverage in Canada. Canada's health minister has announced that many Canadians will soon be able to request government-provided dental insurance. This increase in dental coverage is aimed at Canadians aged 18 to 64 and will start in January 2025. The government wants to boost access to dental care for those who currently do not have insurance. This program is part of ongoing efforts to improve health services across Canada.
Concerns for seniors in British Columbia. A new report reveals worries about elderly individuals in British Columbia, Canada. By 2035, seniors are expected to make up a quarter of the total population. Despite some funding for services, significant problems persist in healthcare, long-term care, home care, housing, and transportation. Dan Levitt, a seniors advocate, highlights the urgent need for improvements to address the rising demands of this aging population.
Tragic accident claims life of international student. A heartbreaking accident took the life of an international student from India, Ritika Rajput, on December 7, 2024. This tragic event happened during a bonfire with friends in Kelowna, a city in British Columbia, Canada, when a tree fell. Friends and family are grieving her loss and are raising funds to bring her back to India. They aim to collect around 100,000 Indian rupees, which is roughly equal to $1.21.
Vancouver considers moving the East Van Cross. Vancouver City Council is considering moving the East Van Cross, a striking 17-meter-tall art piece created by artist Ken Lum. Since its installation in 2010, This notable cross has been a key feature at the intersection of Clark Drive and East 6th Avenue. However, a new 10-story building is now blocking views of the artwork. The council is also thinking about selling naming rights for the piece, which could greatly affect the local community and the future of public art in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada.
Vancouver embraces Bitcoin. Vancouver City Council in British Columbia, Canada, has approved a motion to be more open to Bitcoin. This motion allows the city to look into accepting Bitcoin as payment and keeping it as a reserve. Mayor Ken Sim supports this initiative and has promised a donation of 10,000 Canadian dollars, which is about $7,400 to the city in Bitcoin. This decision aims to adapt to changes in the economy and encourage growth amid inflation and market volatility.
Kelowna doctor raises awareness for prostate cancer. Dr. David Goldberg, a family doctor in Kelowna, British Columbia, Canada, is raising awareness about prostate cancer through a special project. He has donated earnings from his joke book to the Prostate Cancer Foundation Canada to emphasize the importance of prostate cancer awareness and support testing programs. Dr. Goldberg wrote the book while managing his own prostate cancer diagnosis in 2022. He believes that humor can help people cope with serious health issues. The first edition of the book was released in March 2024, and an updated version is now available at local bookstores. Through this initiative, Dr. Goldberg aims to keep the conversation going about prostate cancer and encourage everyone to take charge of their health.
Russian woman sues Scotiabank over withheld funds. A Russian woman named Daria Zubashenko, living in British Columbia, Canada, is suing Scotiabank. She claims the bank is unfairly keeping her money because of penalties imposed on Russia. Daria has been in Canada for 8 years, and these penalties against Russia's largest bank began in 2014, with updates in 2022 following Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Her case highlights how these penalties impact average citizens, although the exact amount of money involved is not specified.
Social assistance payments in British Columbia during postal strike. The government of British Columbia, Canada, has some good news. Almost all social assistance payments were sent out in November, despite a postal strike. By November 30th, nearly all payments had been distributed. Social Services Minister Sheila Malcolmson mentioned that the ministry is ready to send more payments on December 18 if the strike continues. This ongoing mail strike has raised concerns about delivering essential services like social assistance. The ministry is dedicated to ensuring that at-risk groups receive prompt assistance. That is all the news for today. Thank you for listening to today's Headphone News. News summary brought to you by AI.